Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. Since we scored the first goal yesterday, I have not stopped smiling. Like, I slept smiling. I woke up smiling. I woke up thinking, like, listen, Odegaard is actually an Arsenal player. And I just kept smiling throughout the day. And what a day it was, man. Breaking records every day these days for fun, scoring 5 goals, 6 goals for fun. It's absolutely an amazing time. It's an absolute amazing time to be an Arsenal fan. Like, things are really, really working out right now. So there's a lot to talk about, including what went down yesterday in terms of the performance and which players. There's a couple of players I really want to talk about today. But first, I'm going to start with the piece of news because a lot of people have been worried about Saka and Martinelli. Saka went off at halftime yesterday. Vieira came on and Martinelli went off. He got stepped on and he went off. He actually had gone down like right after halftime, and people thought like, oh my goodness, is it his knee or something? But had actually been hit on the face, and then a few minutes later he was stepped on. So yes, he took some really hard hits yesterday, a couple of them. But is he going to miss a few games? Is he going to be out for a few weeks or something? What about Bukayo Saka? So this is what I had to say about this when he was asked about the latest on both of them. Bukayo Saka was feeling sick. He wasn't feeling right. So we decided to take him off and bring Fabio Vieira in. With Martinelli, it's just a cut. He had a tackle and he had a slight cut. We have to see how he is. So let's start with the Bukayo Saka one now. We were leading the game 5-0. Like, if the game was like maybe 1-1 or 2-1 to Arsenal, I think Bukayo Saka keeps playing on. Even if he's sick, I think he keeps on playing on until we get the game done. But with us being 5-0 up and Saka had already done his job in the first half, he was absolutely incredible. He tore literally. Bukayo Saka made the Sheffield coach, make a substitution in the 16th minute or something, or even earlier than that. He was tearing apart Austin Trusty. I don't know why their coach went with a back four and put Austin Trusty a centre back to mark Bukayo Saka on the left side. I don't understand. He tore him apart like 3 or 4 times, and then they brought in a sub and they went to a back five, and that sub as well, Saka tore him apart as well. Like, he was absolutely incredible in that first half, and he got the job done. He basically had the job done, and that we could afford to sub him off, and maybe even a few other players. So he deserved to have a rest. 45 minutes, you get the job done. You're able to sub off Saka. It can't get any perfect than that. Yes, you want him to score more goals and assists in terms of the numbers, but if you can rest Saka anytime we can, if you can rest Declan Rice anytime we can, Odegaard, Martinelli, even the centre backs, like now since the likes of Tomiyasu about to come back, we can even afford to have Saliba and Gabriel maybe resting for one game here and there. But for us to afford to sub out Saka, that's very good. So it wasn't an injury. He was just feeling sick, so he should be back for the Brentford game. That is very welcome. We have Brentford and then FC Port and then an international break after that. And for those international breaks, I think they're playing friendlies and not qualifications. If I'm not wrong, I'll confirm that by tomorrow. But I think I saw that somewhere that they're playing a friendly against Brazil or something. So he should be, I'm guessing he's going to play there, but hopefully plays like one game and not both of them. So nothing to worry about with Bukayo Saka. Really, really happy to that he's going to stay fit for now. Hopefully stays fit until the end of the season. We really need him for everything that we do. Yesterday was absolutely remarkable. He also hit the post within the first minute of the game. He could have had a goal on top of that. But what about Martinelli? That's the one that was really, really worrying people. This is not a sight you'd want to see when Martinelli is going off like this. Usually, even if we were winning that game 10-0 and then I see Martinelli limping off like this, you're still not happy, You're not happy at all. Like, you wouldn't really celebrate the game as you really want to celebrate, because a 6-0 win, you're like, yes, man, we won the game 6-0. This is amazing. You're scoring a bunch of goals. But when someone like a Martinelli goes down and he's limping around and being carried around like this, you don't really want to see that. That kind of takes away a bit of the sweet taste of the game, and it becomes a little bit of a bitter taste. But what's the latest on him? Well, Mikel Arteta did say this about Martinelli. It's just a cut. He had a tackle and he had a slight cut. We have to see how he is. So he got stepped on. I saw he got stepped on. It didn't look like the guy actually really stepped on him, but he was really limping, so it looks like the impact was there, and it definitely was there. The impact was there, so he got injured, unfortunately, in that game. Luckily, it's a cut. It's not something like maybe you'll get some pictures of that soon. Maybe it's a deep cut or whatever. But it's not like a muscular injury, luckily, because when you start hearing things like hamstring and he had a calf injury or all that, he pulled up with this and that, that's when it gets a bit problematic. But when it's just someone stepped on him, that is absolutely fine. we have 2 games coming up. If he's not ready for the Brentford game, absolutely fine. We have the likes of Smith Rowe, Trossard can start on that side, absolutely fine. Jesus is back now. That is okay. If he's not 100% for that game, you can keep him and rest him for the FC Porto game. That's the one you really need him. I really need Jesus for that game. I really need Martinelli for that game, and then everyone else. But specifically Jesus, because he's been very good for us in the Champions League, and Martinelli space in that game, we need him for that Champions League game as well. So if he's not available for the Brentford game, we definitely have players to play in that match. Nelson might want to play, Smith Rowe might want to play, Jesus might want to play, Vieira might want to play. Whichever way, whichever formation he goes for, whichever player replaces him with, that is absolutely fine. But it's just a cut for Martinelli. He should be back soon. Mata did say they're going to take a look at him, but so maybe by tomorrow we'll have a definite answer in terms of whether he's going to miss a game or he's just going to be back like Saka for the next match. Luckily, no bad news at all. Usually you win a game 6-7-0 and then you get some bad news after that, and then it becomes a bit sweet and a bit bitter because to balance it out. But this one, it seems like both of them will be okay. And on top of that, remember Thomas Partey returned, Jesus returned, Fabio Vieira returned, Tomiyasu and Zinchenko are both on their way back. I think they're both going to be in that game against FC Porto. Timber is back in training now, like having no injured players, no players out with an injury. That feels good, man. That really feels good. It's been so long since we had the full squad. So let's talk a little bit more about yesterday's game. Really, really happy that game. I watched that game once again immediately after I finished the show. I watched that game again. And, when you're watching it without pressure and you already know the result, I was fascinated, man. That was incredible. Like I was literally watching that Arsenal Sheffield game the second time and the third time, and the passing, Saliba, Gabriel just passing the ball, Ben White, pass to Rice, boom to Odegaard, boom to Martinelli, sometimes to Saka, sometimes Jorginho long ball to Havertz. It's not one style of play. The passing, it can go from anywhere. Ben White can pass the ball to Martinelli. Martinelli can switch the ball to Saka. Jorginho can hit the ball long to Havertz. And all of those players in that squad, everyone has something to like. He allows us to play in a different kind of way. Kivio, he can overlap. If Zinchenko is there, he can cut in and play as an inverted fullback. Havertz can run in behind and he gives us that target. And the last 2-3 games, I've seen Raya going long a few times. I've seen Saliba and Gabriel going long a few times, Jorginho as well, because they know that Kai Havertz is there and he can make those runs in behind and he can battle with those big centre backs. Different ways of playing. Sometimes you can go to Saka and ask him to go past the fullback. Same with Martinelli on the left side. Sometimes Odegaard, you can ask him to get the ball and try and pick out a pass, and he definitely does it. Let's start with Kai Havertz. Havertz yesterday was absolutely incredible. The goal that he scored is a very, very good finish. You can tell the confidence is there. That is what I wanted to see with Havertz. Confidence, and that's the only thing I was worried about in August, September, October, November, and he was missing a few chances here and there, and he was not really getting involved in the game. You could tell like confidence was not there. He was getting a chance to shoot the ball. He didn't shoot the ball. He preferred to pass the ball because maybe he doesn't want to miss and all that. The confidence was not there. But yesterday, the way he took that ball and shot it, absolutely amazing. But that wasn't even the best part of his game. There's 2 moments that I was very, very happy about. The Martinelli goal, I think the ball moved like Saliba, and then there's a time it dropped to Havertz. And there's a couple of things he could have done. He could have, relaxed with the ball, turned back and passed it to Ben White. He could have tried to put a through ball and ask Saka to run or whatever. He could have just tried to control position and keep the ball for 4 or 5 more seconds. And, Sheffield would have gotten back to position. He didn't do that. He turned right away and he knew Odegaard and Martinelli and those guys were on the run. He turned and put the ball in between the Sheffield midfielders, and the ball got to Odegaard, and that put us on the attack for the third goal very, very quickly. Quick thinking, quick movement. He's playing the Arsenal way now, like quick movement. Everything is definitely involved in the Arsenal team. 3-4 months ago, people were saying Havertz is not really looking like an Arsenal player. He's being carried. You cannot say that right now. I don't ever think he was being carried at all. I've never really had that opinion. That's just other people's opinion. But definitely right now, he's getting involved way more than he was a few months back. He was not a ghost. I don't agree with the ghosting thing. He's still helping us in terms of defense and tussles and all that in midfield. He was really doing a lot of that. But right now, you can tell like he has a connection with Odegaard, with Martinelli, the runs in behind, the calmly drops onto the midfield as well, and Martinelli goes forward, Odegaard pushes forward, Ben White makes the runs as well. The connection is there. That was the first moment that really excited me, apart from the goal, that pass to Odegaard. And then obviously the Jorginho pass to Havertz for Ben White's goal. His run, his control, and his quick movement, and cut back to his left foot, knew where Ben White was, put the pass very, very accurately, and got an assist for that as well. Absolutely amazing. That was absolutely amazing from Havertz yesterday. Again, he scored against Burnley, he scored against Newcastle, he scored again against Sheffield. He had 2 assists in those games as well. Things are looking good. That is 10 plus goal contributions for him, and I'd not be surprised if he gets to at least 15 of them. If he keeps on this form, he's going to get a couple of more goals and a couple of more assists. Who knows? You can get a game where he gets 2 goals, another one he gets 2 goals, and that can get to 20. But the way we spread our team around in terms of who is starting and who is starting in the number 8 and the number 9, there's going to be a mixture. Trossard might come in the next game and get his 2 goals. Jesus might come in the next game and get his 2 goals. It could be Havertz again. I don't mind, but I'm sure he's going to get to 15 goal contributions. We now have 5 players who have 10. Is it 5 or 6? A lot of them who have 10 plus goal contributions. Saka is on plus 20, is just incredible. Odegaard is there as well. Martinelli is there as well. Havertz is there. Declan Rice is there. All of them are absolutely incredible. Trossard is on 9, is about to get to 10. Ketty and Jesus are on 7. They could easily get to 10 as well. What a time to be an Arsenal fan. The other player I really want to talk about is Odegaard. Absolutely incredible once again yesterday. Now, something I didn't mention with Havertz, I'm going to talk about it when I'm talking about now I'm talking about Odegaard, is the pressing. Both of them are absolutely incredible in the press, and especially Odegaard. I was feeling sorry for Sheffield United yesterday. Like, they were getting the ball and they could not keep it for 2 seconds. There's literally a time I was just watching that game. I was like, oh no, man, I feel sorry for them. Like, they were getting the ball, Odegaard, boom, pressing. Havertz, boom, pressing. Like, they could not keep the ball for a single second. You'll never watch an Arsenal game and you tell me Odegaard is walking around the pitch. Never, ever. From the first second of the game to the last, he's running, he's pushing. Even when you're 6 goals up, he's pushing. And we'll talk about the defensive thing later in this video, but one of the reasons we have such a good defense and you don't allow teams any chances is because of people like Havertz and Odegaard up front, in the likes of Saka, pressing the opposition to death, and they can't string 2-3 passes together because we are right on them and you take the ball right from them. If somehow they pass Havertz and Odegaard, Declan Rice is there, he takes the ball very easily. And if they pass there, that defensive block is there, and Raya is there as well. Like, it's just astonishing. Like, everything is so perfect, and that's just the defensive work of Odegaard. We're not even talking about the attacking play, which I'm just tired of talking about. His passing yesterday was phenomenal once again. There's a pass he gave to Martinelli, his goal, the way he's quick thinking, runs in front of the defender, he knows where the Declan Rice is going to put the ball. Like, if we were taking all our chances this season, Odegaard have had like 20 assists. Like, he creates so many chances. I put people through one-on-one so many times. His crossing is phenomenal as well. You can tell that they usually try different things with Saka, from the corners, from the free kicks. You can tell they're usually in the training ground trying different things every single time. And he's definitely a bargain signing as well. 35 million, getting someone who captains us right now. And there's still some people who think Odegaard is not a good player. I don't know why, but this is a player who's definitely going to be here for a lot of years to come. He's very, very good. And when he came to Arsenal on a loan deal, people are not very excited with him. He was a couple of good performances. People are like, he's struggling with English football, but since he signed for Arsenal, he's been absolutely incredible. He was there with Lacazette's and Aubameyangs, and he's now there with the likes of Jesus and the Sakas and all those guys. So phenomenal performance from Odegaard. Let's take a look at a couple of stats. So let's start with the defensive one. Arsenal are just the second team since 2010-2011 to restrict their opponents to 0.5 xg conceded in 7 consecutive Premier League games, after Man City in September and October of 2018. Also a run of 7. That could easily be 8 against Brentford. The fact that we don't concede chances, I absolutely, I'm very happy that scoring the number of goals we are scoring for fun. But the way we just don't allow opponents to have a single shot on goal is phenomenal. And as I say, that starts from Odegaard and Havertz and those guys up front pressing. Jesus does the same as well. Martinelli, Saka, all of them, they do press really well. I think Odegaard is the best in terms of that. You can tell even the Newcastle game, Odegaard wins the ball in that final third, like presses, I think it was Botman or something, and then that could easily have ended up as a goal. His pressing is incredible. And then, as I say, Declan Rice, Gabriel, all of these guys, you basically reach there, you can't pass anyone. Like, all of them are phenomenal. Look at them. Again, I was feeling sorry for Sheffield. Not only are these guys big, Saliba, Declan Rice, Gabriel, they're so big. They're very tall as well. They are very strong. Not only that, they are very quick as well. There's a time we had the ball and Gabriel and Saliba were literally almost in the like almost in the final third of the almost in the box, the Sheffield United box. All this other area behind them was free, like almost 3/4 of the pitch behind them was clear. Like if a Sheffield player would get the ball there, they would run and they get Raya by himself. But they know there's no one who's going to outrun Gabriel and Saliba. Like they know, like even if Sheffield get the ball, they know Saliba has the pace, they know Rice has the pace, they know Gabriel has the pace, they know they're not going to be outrun by McBurney and all those guys. The fact that we have players who are big, strong, quick, and they're very good at passing. Saliba made 160 something passes yesterday. That was more than the whole Sheffield team. It's iconic, man. It's absolutely incredible the way just destroy teams and dominate the games. And Atta did say it. I don't want just to win games. I want us to control and suffocate opponents. And that is what we are doing. When you get the ball, we dominate the possession. We create a lot of chances. When the opposition gets the ball, we take it within 2 to 3 seconds. It's absolutely phenomenal. And then the defense, the fact that we don't allow teams chances is what makes me even more happy than us scoring goals. We just don't allow anyone to get a chance against us. If we score fast, we pretty much know we are not going to lose because the opposition is not going to get 2 goals. And if they score, it's going to be from our mistake. We've scored 31 goals and conceded 3 since the Dubai break. And if you look at the 3 goals, a slight error from Saliba and Raya for the Liverpool goal. Gabriel scored an own goal. The Nottingham Forest game as well, a bit of a mistake from Zinchenko and Saliba as well in that game. It's never like a team like playing around us and scoring. That could easily have been 0 goals conceded. Not kidding. And even the Newcastle one, the game was pretty much over. We had subbed off players and they got a chance in this score. That would have been 31 goals and 0 conceded. We'd have had like 20 clean sheets by now. There's a lot of times we've conceded a goal later on FC Porto, Wolves, and that's after we make subs or, maybe it's the last 1-2 minutes we take our foot off the pedal and then we make a mistake and then we concede. But if they switch on until the 90th minute, there's no team that is going to score a goal against us. I'm not even kidding. Like, these guys are absolutely phenomenal, all of them, the defensive line. And remember, Kiva is not a fast-trace defender. There's still the likes of Tomiyasu to come back, so things are looking good. And this one, finally, in terms of the forward line, of the stats of the forward line and the defense, according to Sam Dean, Arsenal now have the best attacking record, 68 goals scored, and the best defensive record, 23 goals conceded. It's not easy to have the best attack and the best defense at the same time. It's phenomenal, man. That means that the team is very well coached. And I rewatched that Sheffield game the 3rd time, and I could just see how very well they're coached. Everyone knows their position, the way Havertz is moving, the way Odegaard is moving. Ben White knows when he's supposed to be back, when he's supposed to overlap, when he's supposed to come into midfield. When Rice makes this move, Jorginho knows, okay, now I can move here. Like, everything is just so smooth and perfect. So I'll talk about this for like a whole 40 minutes, but we don't want to make this video too long. We'll definitely talk about this again. But that's the latest in terms of Arsenal news and the performance from yesterday. Let me know what you make of it. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.